How we doing out there? I'm Mark Rockledge with the Metal Funk All Stars channel, and making time for God. And what do we mean by that? Well, making time for God is basically making time for yourself. Because if you're part of God, a part of which we all make up parts. So, in other words, this whole world is in God's image, and everything, including us humans. So, with that said, that would make us a part of the program, part of that image. So, we are the makes of God. So we have the same type of, I guess you would say, I guess abilities in a way, but not as extreme as or as perfect as God itself, Himself, however you want to phrase it. Because um, being a part, you get to have some of the abilities, so such as using your abilities to imagine a an image, to imagine an image is in the word imagine. Image is a derivative from the word imagine. So, from imagining things, you're going to have a image, and that image becomes a vision in your mind. And your mind takes that vision and creates a story, a scenario, a short film, if you would say. Like a dream in a sense. But you don't have to be in a dream state, maybe a meditative state, which dreams are a meditative state of mind. But at some point, we don't have any conscious feelings or abilities consciously, but subconsciously, yes, we do. Because our subconscious mind takes over at that point and takes care of all of the things in our body that we can't consciously take care of ourselves, which means repairing blood cells and waking you from a sleep state because your house is on fire, or you hear a scream, but you're not sure if it's from your dream or not, but your subconscious is telling you, wake up and get conscious. Use your five senses at that point once you wake up to figure out what's going on. So, in other words, things can affect your subconscious to get it to react in a certain way. So if you're consciously aware of things in your awakened state, you can consciously meditate and imagine using your imagination and your vision and your mind to create a short movie, a short film in your mind of what your most burning desire might be, or your aim, your focus. What is your target? What is your main objective in life? To pinpoint that and to help you with that, achieving success and manifesting that image into reality, the subconscious mind takes over and does that for you. As long as you do it repetitiously and you dwell on it as your most burning desire, and eventually the subconscious mind will bring it into reality. It's a scientifically proven principle. It's a scientifically proven thing by neuroscientists that have already discovered the subconscious mind and the powers within the subconscious mind. Not to be confused with the conscious mind. The conscious mind works on our five senses. We consciously smell things. We consciously hear things, see things, touch things, and so on. It's our consciousness levels that help interact with the subconscious mind to get what you want. It doesn't have to be money. It doesn't have to be what the next guy has. It's what you want, your most burning desire. That's you. If you want money, that's fine. Focus on that. How do you get that? From experience, I'm speaking. Think it into existence. That's how you do it. You have to think it into existence. Become that vibe, that vibration, level, that vibrational level. Become that frequency. Become that transmission. Become that reception. In order to receive, you have to transmit. So we work as transmission towers. We communicate not only with ourselves, but telepathically, we can communicate with others. Once you get good at it, you can see what I'm talking about. I have had experiences that have proven that theory of the subconscious mind. Before that, I didn't know crap about the subconscious mind, and I wasn't getting the full benefit of the powers of the subconscious mind until I fully understood how it works, how everything operates within the subconscious mind, reading journals, going to seminars, free seminars, watching free videos out there on YouTube on the subject by neuroscientists themselves that prove and have proven, just like myself from my own experiences. Experiences are a part of an experiment. We're experimenting with things whether we like it or not. And our experiences come out of that experimentation with things. And I'm going to do a quick shout out because I noticed somebody left some messages in chat. I don't see at the moment. I'm going to check. Fools and Tools. Much love. And cheers, 840. I don't know if you guys can hear me. Let me know. Let me ask. Okay. I'm hoping that everybody can hear my vocals. Otherwise, I'm talking to myself, which is good. I do that from time to time. There ain't no one else to talk to. I just talk to myself. And let me know if you can hear my vocals, my voice. Cool. That's great. Because last time I tried to do this, my vocals didn't come through, and I did a whole live stream with nothing said. It was stupid. But I tell you what, I did benefit from that live stream. And it was incredible because I talked to nobody but myself. I thought I was talking to the audience, but it wasn't going through on YouTube. So my vocals never came across, even though they weren't muted. I can hear myself. I can see that it wasn't muted. But what happened was 4 days after that, I played the lottery and won $500. So there you go. I benefited from that. Those words that I was speaking to, what I thought was people listening. But you know who was really listening and who always is listening? Is God. And that's where I benefited from. See, it doesn't matter how big your audience is. You could even be talking to yourself. You could be your best audience. And who hears you the most is God. Now, I was teaching and kind of preaching the laws of compensation and how that works and how we are basically rewarded by God, if you want to call it that, or by the divine intelligence just a spiritual thing for you. However you want to look at it. It's a entity, it's a force, a power. Kind of hard to explain how it mysteriously comes into existence, but it's out there and it works. I know this from experience. I was the skeptic, always wanted to put things to the test, and I did. Like a prosecuting attorney, I'm going to find every little thing I can find wrong. And I ended up finding more truth than wrong. And the things that get you things, the words that get you things, the trust, the faith, the belief that gets you things. You gotta have trust. Trust in yourself, trust in what you're believing in, have faith in it. And another thing, patience, because it pays off in the end. Laws of compensation, the spiritual laws, not the man made laws, the spiritual laws of compensation. Some people might have another word for it or phrase. That would be what goes around comes around. Karma, instant karma. Sometimes, sometimes things happen instantly. Some things happen a week or two later, depending on how strong your focus, how long you've been focusing, how long you've been dwelling and putting your burning desire into whatever you're trying to manifest or create in your life. But it comes with trust, faith, and belief. If you don't have any of that in what you're trying to achieve, you'll never get it. Or you may not get all of it. So you have to have trust and belief and faith in what you believe in or what your desires are. Otherwise, it won't be manifested for you. Putting your heart and your mind together as a working force. Yes, the mind is more powerful than the body. It's already been proven. Our mind can make us do things with our body that's beyond belief. All it takes is a tragic moment, an emergency. Next thing you know, it someone becomes a hero, a savior, somebody that saved someone from tragedy or something, maybe from a burning house fire or something. Maybe lift the car off of someone you would normally wouldn't be able to lift that car, but because your mind told you you can do it, you did it. That's what I'm talking about when it comes to the conscious mind and the subconscious mind working together to create a miracle, if you want to say it like that, or an unbelievable moment in your life that you can't explain how it happened, maybe. But see, I can explain some things myself just because of experiences with the subject, and I'm aware of that. And so when I say you put your heart and mind together, your heart acts as the emotional center of things, the feeling, where you're getting your feelings of your consciousness of things, such as your five senses. So if you went into a meditative state and you're laying there or sitting and you're focusing on a particular subject, a particular thing you want in your life or manifestation, you would start to imagine yourself feeling things. These are your consciousness things that if you were to feel rain bouncing off your shoulders with a sleeveless shirt on, you would feel of that. And you meditate in your meditative state like that for the things that you want in your life as a manifestation tool. You feel those things through your heart, like, oh, I'm feeling a certain temperature. You're feeling the touch of rain. Now you use your other sense. You can smell the rain. Not only that, but you can reach out and feel it with your fingers, the water from the rain. It's you can feel that. That's another sense. You can smell of the rain off the pavement. You can taste things. That's another sense. Let's say you're eating on some popcorn and you're standing in the rain. Those are two different senses that you can come and make it go into play with your meditative state and manifestation. And that's what meditation is about, is to bring about your conscious senses and relate those, input those into a meditative state of a imaginary thing, using your imagination to create a movie scene, if you would say, or put it that way, or a short film, however you want to classify it. Kind of like a dream without you going into a deep sleep. That would be a sleep where now you don't have too much conscious control, but you can communicate with your subconscious consciously by using your five senses during your meditation. That's how hypnosis, by the way, is done. A hypnotist is going to hypnotize you using your own senses to tell you to feel these things, experience these things in your mind. And that's all hypnosis is a meditative state of mind. You can be in a meditative state of mind on your own without a hypnotist doing it for you or helping you get there. You can do this. It's no cold thing. It's not dark magic. It's not black magic. It's not magic. It's real. First, you have to create that reality in your own mind. And you create that scenario, that scene, that movie, that skit that you put together in your own mind. And you take that and you dwell upon it. You make it your most burning desire in a matter of hours, minutes, maybe days, maybe months, depending on how much focus you're given this. You know, a lot of people think, oh, I'll just think about it one time and I'm good. It's like, it's not enough. Like the current isn't currently as powerful. Like I said, we're transmitters and we are receivers. So if a radio station were to transmit to you, to your house, your car, it would have to have a strong transmission, a powerful transmission, something that's up and running 24/7, day in and day out. Same thing with us. We have to be like that radio station with the transmissions. We transmit 24/7, day in and day out. What are we transmitting on? Our most burning desires, the things that make you happy. Otherwise, why is it a burning desire if it doesn't make you happy, right? That's what it's all about. You're not going to find happiness thinking about some other crap that's not going to make you happy. So think about the things that make you happy. Have your trust, faith, and belief wholeheartedly using your heart and mind and your five senses so that in a consistent manner, frequently, consistently, in most burning desire way, your manifestation dreams, the thing you want the most, works with money, works with relationships, it works with everything, anything you want. But you have to give it focus, attention on a daily basis until your subconscious mind picks up on it to a point where you just drilled it right into your subconscious mind over and over again. This is what I want. Now, it works. I have to warn you, it works with bad things too, bad thoughts. But here's the warning about that. You don't want to mess with bad things and bad thoughts. Why? Here's the secret. Your subconscious mind does not know to distinguish when it comes to manifestation of things that you are trying to manifest. You can't distinguish from right from wrong, evil and good. You want to think about evil stuff, you want to do evil stuff, guess what? Evil things will happen to you, not to the thing or person you want it to happen to. It will happen to you. I don't care how you want to clarify your intentions, you're going to get rewarded by your subconscious mind sooner or later based on your thoughts, your thought process. Our thoughts become things. Our thoughts manifest things. Without our thoughts, we can't manifest the things we want. The things we want in life can't be manifested without belief in your thought process. Eventually, if you think about something enough, even if you, it depends, like if you go around saying a certain thing, like, listen, if you're saying you're broke, and you're telling everybody, and everybody's looking at you as being one broke ass person, that intensifies your brokenness. You don't even want to go there. Not if you're trying to get money. Why would you be thinking that? Why would you even say that? So if you want something, say the things that are going to benefit you, are going to bring that manifestation forward based on your thoughts and how much attention you give your thoughts. That's the key. How much attention are you giving your thought process? Do we think about bad things and good things throughout the day? Yes. Whether we want to or not, it happens, good or bad. Even if you're a good person, bad things might roll through your thought process just because you saw something that might have triggered a bad thought. But the ideal there is to not stay there in that present state. You don't want to be in a present state of a bad thought all day. Once it happens, smash it, get rid of it. Cheers, Big Mo. And you have to get rid of all thoughts that aren't of value to you or anyone else, depending on what you're thinking of. Yeah, people are going to benefit from your goodness and your not so good things. And they'll benefit in one way or the other because we're all the same when it comes to those who sanely, without any mental issues. I can't speak for the mentally disturbed because it's hard to entertain or keep a process in a particular manner when it comes to thoughts that are scrambled by mental conditions. I can't speak for the people that are mentally disturbed, but I can think for those who have no mental problems as far as thinking clearly for themselves. We don't need society, the government, the politicians. We don't need anybody out there who thinks they're in power to dictate how we run our own lives within a lawful manner. Obey the laws. It's that simple. Same thing with the spiritual laws, and that is called the laws of compensation, the spiritual laws. You will be compensated for your actions and your thoughts, whether it's good or bad, in a spiritual divine sense, through God's laws of the divine spirit. So we abide by two laws, whether we like it or not: the divine spirit and man's laws. What man says we can and cannot do. And then you have something such as the Ten Commandments. You know it ain't right to kill someone for no reason. That's pretty simple, you would think. But people do it, kill for no reason. Now, that's a spiritual law that's been violated. Not only a man's law, but a spiritual law that's been violated. You're going to pay the price, pay the piper. You are going to you're going to experience the consequences of your actions, good and bad. Did we get in trouble in the past? Yes, we have. We all have. The ideal is to quit doing the things that gets us in trouble, right? Quit doing those things and you won't be in trouble anymore. It's that plain and simple. We should have our own mind set, our own clarity and dignity on things. We should be able to distinguish right from wrong. You're not a killer, so don't kill anyone for no reason. That's one of the commandments. It's a spiritual law. It's also a man-made law that you can't go around doing that. The same applies for other things. Gluttony, I don't have the 10, I'm drawing a blank. I'm trying to think of the 10 Commandments. And these are like guidelines. You don't even have to be spiritual or religious and going to church every day to understand these things and to know right from wrong. You don't need to do that. We just need to clarify that in our own mind. Keeping ourselves in check. There was a scholar by the name of Ralph Waldo Emerson. He was a graduate of Harvard University during the late 1800s. And he wrote essays on the laws of compensation. Or should I say, he wrote an essay on the laws of compensation, meaning the spiritual laws, God's laws, the way things operate within ourselves, being accountable for our own actions and reaping the consequences that goes along with that. And your thoughts can affect you the same way as your actions. You can just be thinking some evil stuff on a consistent basis. And you could be doing some evil stuff. But between the two, you're going to get the same output: negativity, evil, tragedy, anything that has no good moral value. You're going to reap that as long as your thoughts are in that place of not being good. So yeah, you have to pay for your thoughts too, just like your words and your actions. Your words and actions are heard a lot clearer and seen a lot clearer. But your thoughts will attack you from the inside out by your own subconscious mind. It picks up on everything and it wants to reward you, good or bad. So if you want good things, think good things. If you want bad things in your life, think bad stuff. I'm not saying that just because you think good all day long, that your life's going to be perfect and you don't have to go through any trials, tribulations, or errors in your life or experiencing anything negative. And that includes death. We all have to die sometime or another. But we don't have to hurry up the process within ourselves. But it all goes back to he who thinketh becometh. That's a scripture supposedly said by Jesus Christ. He who thinketh becometh. What did he mean by that in that scripture? And I think it was under Mark in that scripture. What did he mean? What are you thinking about the most is what you become, or what you will experience in that particular subject, whether it's money, relationships, or whatever. Cheers, Jess. And it's based all upon our thoughts. Our thoughts become things. I knew someone personally. I'm not going to say who. It's not necessary. But I will say this person always said they were sick. Sick, 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 sick. And they're always complaining about being sick. Instead of doing something about it, this person complained over and over. Guess what the subconscious did? It made sure that person was sick all the time. That's what I'm talking about. You want to be sick all the time? Keep saying you're sick. You want to be out of shape and feel lazy and unmotivated and no energy. Keep repeating those things to yourself. You'll stay there. You want to get out of that state of mind? You want to get out of that condition you're in? Think the opposite. It works. It works. I put it to the test more than once in more than one subject matter, not just money, relationships, friendships, and so on. I put it to the test. I was a skeptic too. We all are at one point in our lives. We're all skeptics until something proves us otherwise. And we're like, oh, I get it. Okay. Like Jess said in chat, strange the way people want sympathy in their lives. They want people to, I'm sick. I'm feeling sorry for myself. Well, guess what? Buttercup, buckle up. Because we all have trials and tribulations and errors that we go through in life. Nobody's life is perfect. Instead of finding something you could be proud of, like Just said, something you could be capable of, which is reversing that thought. You want sympathy of always being sick. How about reversing that thought and having the courage to say, hey, I'm getting better each and every day in every way. I am getting better and better. That's an affirmation. It's okay to say affirmations if that's what helps you get you to where you want to be. Do positive affirmations. I'm getting better and better every day in every way. The universe does this for me. God does that for me. Don't complain. Complaining is a form of negativity. When you complain, you know who you're complaining to? Your subconscious mind. And your subconscious mind doesn't know if you're happy with what you're complaining about. All it knows is, hey, he must be happy to be on one leg. He must be happy to be there or here or whatever he's going through. Let's give him more. That's how the subconscious works. it gives you more of what you're complaining about. You want more of what you want in a positive sense? Do the opposite of complaining. Yeah, everybody wants to be awarded for their complaints. Instead of being awarded for thinking positive and doing positive things, saying and doing the positive things, because words are powerful. Be persistent in your positive thoughts. Don't be persistent in your complaints. Because who are you really complaining to? You think the society gives a crap about you? You're sadly mistaken. You have to look out for yourself. It's okay to look out for others. It's good to be that type of person. But it also comes to a point where you can only help someone so much, they have to help themselves. They have to love themselves. They have to want to help themselves. Turn a negative into a positive. Turn a negative thought into a positive thought. Yeah, like Jess said in chat, grown ass adults complaining. Ah, you shut the hell up with that shit. Do something about it. And where does it start? In your thought process. You cannot say something negatively without thinking about some negative crap. People get tired of hearing that crap. But then again, birds of a feather flock together. Some people enjoy hearing, hey, you're sick too? I'm sick too. Wow, we're both sick. So now you got two sick dummies complaining about their struggles in life and this and that. Who who wants to go to the pity show? Quit complaining and being pitiful, seeking sympathy. Do something about it. And it starts in your own mind process, your own thought process. That's where it starts. Yeah. You can look at anything in your life and fix it, or at least make it better. There's always ways of making it better. We can't fix everything completely. Otherwise, we'd be considered perfect, and nobody is perfect. And with that said, expect trials, expect tribulations, expect errors in your life, because it's not all peaches and cream for anyone. You are going to take the ups and the downs, the good with the bad, and roll with it and just roll on with the way you think about what you want to achieve, what your main goal is, what your main objective, what your most burning desire is, and do something about it with your thoughts first. Meditate on it, fix it in your mind first. Then it will manifest itself eventually. With patience, it will come about, it will manifest. May not be exactly the way you thought it would come about, or maybe laid out this exact way, but eventually it will happen with consistency and repetition. Yeah, life's not easy for anyone, not all the way, and it's not definitely perfect. Yeah, somewhere along the day, the week, the month, you're gonna experience something you don't like. The key to all that negativity and the stuff we can't do, stuff about, like society, the things around us, the politics, the power uh, out there that's in charge, and so on, the authorities and authority figures, whatever. We may not be able to change society or the circumstances around us in a blink of an eye, especially. But we can start the process in our own mind of doing better than what we did before. Instead of complaining, do something about it in a positive way that you could benefit from as well as others. That's true. You appreciate and be happy with what you have. Even if you consider yourself in a poor household or a poor neighborhood, poor environment, a poor situation, maybe a broke income, a financial disaster, that doesn't mean you can't be appreciative for the things that you already have. That's called gratitude. And gratitude goes a long ways. Okay, you come to God, He acts as the father figure. We are the children. What do we do when we ask our real father here on earth for something? He's going to respond with a yes or a no, or maybe, depending on what you ask for and how you ask for it. That's a key right there. What you ask for and how you ask for it. If you ask your dad for something in real life here on planet Earth and he didn't like what you were asking for, he's going to tell you, no, no, son, you can't have that. Well, how come, Dad? Well, last time you asked for something, what you do in return? I mean, you didn't even clean your room. You didn't do this. You didn't do that. A lot of people want to complain that they don't have shit, but they don't want to do crap. They don't want to do anything. Say, well, if you want something good from your dad, maybe do something good in return to make them say yes. Don't be out there doing all sorts of mischievous, demented, evil stuff and then expect good return. You're not going to get good return from that. So if you're going to the Father God, make time for Him too, not just yourself. Make time for others. Make time for your God. Do things for others. I mean, there's got to be some give and take, can't just be receiving all the time. You give a little, give here and there. That's showing gratitude, you know. Um, Maybe tell your dad before you ask him, I appreciate what you gave me last time. I really do appreciate, and I'm ready for some more. I'm ready for some more every time I ask for something because I know I did something positive to be able to ask for more. Um, you have to be willing to do better or to be grateful and have gratitude for the last time you received stuff and for the things you're about to receive. Have gratitude that it's already there for you. Just have great gratitude in your mind about receiving it and be grateful for the things you already have. Because if you went to your dad and he saw that you weren't grateful for anything, he's not going to reward you, right? Here on earth. He's going to send your ass to bed without dinner and an ass whipping, probably, just because you complain. Same thing works with God. You go to Him, you got to have great gratitude. You got to be thankful and grateful and and for what He's done so far in your life. So He can make room for more. You can make room for more. That's right. Thanks, Big Mo. Cheers, Big Mo. Yeah, gratitude goes a long ways. And it's one of the key elements. Listen very carefully. I know this from experience. I've been doing this it's nothing new to me. So I feel that, yeah, I can teach and preach and want to feel more that I'm teaching than preaching, just from my own experiences. But I've been doing this for about almost 18 years. I've been studying the subconscious mind. I've been studying the different aspects of God and the subject of God without turning it into a spiritual argument or a religious argument. I don't really care to be considered religious, and I don't consider myself religious. I consider myself being spiritually aware of things. And I know Christianity was meant to be a way of life and not a religion. That's not what Jesus intended. Religions stem off of different belief systems, and they have their own stipulations and their own little rules and policies within that religion. That's not a way of life. That's telling somebody what they need to do instead of thinking for themselves. So, for instance, if you went to a particular church, they want you to dress up and be a certain way. Not all churches are like that, but most want you there and dress clothes. Christianity says, come as you are. It's a way of life. We don't put stipulations. We don't water down, mangle, and twist things. Twist the words around, mangle, destroy it. If you weren't allowed in a church because you dress poorly, that's not a good thing. You're not going to, that when you have stipulations involved in religion, it causes conflict of interest and conflict amongst other religions. And you'll have them saying, my church is better than your church. My religion is better than religion. Who gives a crap? Just live your life and live it right. Do the right thing. Say the right thing. It's pretty simple. Cheers, wicked. Yeah, come as you are, and you can change your inside. That's what matters the most. Changing what's within you, not what's on the outside. You ever hear that saying, he's like a sheep in he's like a wolf in sheep's clothing. Don't be that wolf in sheep's clothes. Change yourself from the inside based upon your thought process. Because you can have a nice home, a nice car, a nice wife or a husband, a nice family. You can consider nice this, nice that, nice job, and still be ungrateful and evil. Ain't that weird how that works? Even those who are ungrateful and evil still get good things in life that others wish they had. Oh, you can have the same thing. But I guarantee you, he didn't achieve that by being evil or thinking bad. You don't get good things in life from thinking. And you might question yourself too, saying, well, why do those people get good things that are thinking bad thoughts and aren't such a good person. That guy's a dick. He never shares. He never cares. He never does it. He's always complaining, but he's got everything. Why is that? You might ask, why is that? I'll tell you why. Because he's not going to hold on to it forever. He's going to pass it on, whether it's directly or indirectly, onto somebody else that deserves it, that can put it to better use with better thoughts and no complaints. Same with the lottery. Not everybody wins the lottery. Some God holy roller that does everything right in life, and that's why he won the lottery. No, he's taking care of other people that deserve it with his money, whether he likes it or not. So if you're wondering why people that do bad things or think bad or not considered a good person have stuff, it's because they're about ready to give those things up. They may not know when, but the laws of compensation pay those who deserve in a certain way what they get. He may lose it all. He may be miserable too. Just because he has $1 million+ doesn't mean he's happy. Don't worry about what the other guy is doing. Don't worry about what he has. Don't worry about what your neighbor has. Don't worry about what your family member has. Don't worry about any of that. You worry about yourself and how you are going to better yourself. And you get the good stuff based on your thoughts. Exactly. Like Wicked said in the chat, believe and follow Jesus if that's what you want to do. But make sure you have faith, trust, and belief in what you're trying to manifest or achieve in your life. And you have to keep that current going. Keep it going strong, a strong transmission that keeps things going and going in that same direction you want it to be. Cheers, Sally. Sallyman. Sal. Cheers. Yeah. Be the change you want to see in this reality. Sal says in chat, you want the reality of things started in your mind, but be careful what you think about, because your subconscious will give you the bad too. Cheers, Juggalo. Yeah. The first 50 years of my life, I was one of those complainers. I was one of those people that thought everybody's getting good shit but me. uh, how come I didn't win the lottery? I used to think that for a long time. How come I can't win? How come I can't win? I'll tell you why you can't win. Because you never considered yourself a winner. That's why. It's like the person that goes up to the lottery clerk, the gas station clerk, and asks for a lottery ticket. As soon as they get it, they say, I don't know why I play. I don't win it anyway. Oh my God. Why the hell did you say that? You just sabotaged your own win. Well, yeah, good question. Why do you play if you think that way? That is a good question. Why do you play if you always losing? And then you always think that way. Because if they weren't thinking that way, they wouldn't say that. They would be saying the opposite. They'd be saying, yeah, man, I keep playing because I keep winning. That's me. That's me now. I used to be, man, I never win. Man, screw that. I ain't getting cock blocked by my thought process. Don't let that stuff block as soon as you put negative value in your head and start putting the blame on other things and other people for your downfalls in life, that's when you stop receiving. You want to receive? Start thinking good stuff. Start thinking about things you want and think, hey, I already have it, even when it's not even there. Act as if you already have it. Eventually, your subconscious will come through and pay you compensation for your thoughts. You want to be a better drummer? Think that you're a better drummer every time you play the drums. I'm getting better and better at drumming every time I play. Same works with everything else in life. If you want something good, don't think bad. If you want something, don't complain. Do something about it. Make it happen. Like I said, we're not all perfect, and we're all going to go through trials, tribulations, and errors throughout our life, whether it's weekly, monthly, or yearly. Trials or tribulations and errors come into our lives. But to minimize the chances of those things happening, trials and errors and things you don't like, to minimize that, think the opposite of the bad, the ugly, the evil. Think the opposite. Don't expect good thinking bad thoughts. And don't think bad thoughts thinking you're going to get something good. If you want good things, think good. And just keep at it. Keep doing it. Repetition. Over and over. I'm getting better and better every day in every way. That's a good affirmation. It covers a lot of things. It's cool. Yeah, you can progress in different areas of your life based upon your thought process. So, anyway, I'm going to conclude this. Been here longer than I thought I was going to be. hour and 20 minutes, making time for God. And I'm glad you guys came, handful of you guys came along and said what you had to say, and things that are looking up in your life, things that are going better. So with that said, I'm going to end this stream here and bless you guys with all the goodness and success in life that you're aiming for. Focus on it. Be consistent. Repetition in your good thoughts. And most of all, be thankful and grateful for everything you have thus far already in your life. Be thankful for everything you have so far up to this point. I'm Mark Rockledge. Thanks for stopping by, and I'll talk to you guys later. God bless.